My name is Joe Mangina. I teach theology here at Wycliffe College. I've been here 17 years now. Grew up in the United States. I was born in northern New Jersey, grew up in the New York area. My wife is a New Yorker. Her name is Elisa, and we have two children, Francis, who's 15, and Nicholas, who is 11. I teach systematic theology here at Wycliffe. Systematic is a word that sometimes scares people off, but it shouldn't. The theology part means that we're talking about the things of God. We're trying to reflect on the gospel, what God has done in the world in the life and death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, the sending of the church on mission, everything that goes into the mission of the church, the proclamation of the gospel. As soon as we start thinking about it, that's theology. And systematic simply means that we try to think about how different doctrines and teachings and practices of the church, how it all fits together. There's a kind of a coherence to it. There's a grammar. There are connections to be made. And so what we do in a classroom here at Wycliffe, or in any theological classroom, is to explore what those connections are, both among the ideas and how they play themselves out in the life of the church and the world. I think the thing that gets me excited in my own work these days is looking at the intersection between theology and Scripture and the church's life. Learning to read the Bible in a way that is both responsible, that's critical, but also life-giving for the people of God. And so, even though I did not train professionally as a biblical scholar, my theological work has increasingly led me into engaging the biblical text and the history of its interpretation in the life of the church. I ended up writing, quite to my surprise, a commentary on the book of Revelation, which appeared as part of the Brazos Theological Commentary series. And right now I'm working on the Gospel of John and the way in which you can read the Gospel of John as a series of clues and insights and invitations and challenges to Christian life in community. So I'm thinking about the church, but using the Gospel of John as the primary site of exploration. I think that the way that my work impacts on the church and the culture happens primarily in the classroom as I look out over the kinds of students we have at Wycliffe, running the gamut from Roman Catholics to Anglicans to Presbyterians to Pentecostals to Christian Missionary Alliance and everything in between, that rich diversity we have at Wycliffe College. And I simply pose questions like, what is the gospel? Why does the cross matter? What is the church? What are sacraments? How does this all fit together and what does it mean? And to find the excitement and the enthusiasm among the students as we ask not necessarily highfalutin and sophisticated questions, although we do some of that too, but very, very basic, simple questions. Sometimes the best theological work and the most nurturing for the life of the church is when we ask very, very basic questions, probably the most important of which is, who is Jesus Christ for us today?